Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting a new series. This is the Career Reinvention Program series, and we are going to share stories from healthcare professionals who have transitioned into non-clinical roles beyond their clinical practice so that we can help other healthcare professionals who want to do the same, but this time with clarity and with confidence. Today is the first episode, and I have an amazing guest with me. I have Dr. Nandini Dayalan. So first, I'll go ahead and I'll introduce her for all of you. She is a dentist by degree and she is into medical data reviewing. She has transitioned into clinical research and drug development industry, and she is also a board member at Ekta Scientific Publications. So warm welcome, Dr. Nandini, and I am looking forward to this hearing about your story and understanding how you do the work that you do.
Hi, Dr. Shatabdi. Thank you for the gracious introduction. So, as Dr. Shatabdi said, I'm Dr. Nandini Dayalan, and by profession, I'm a dentist. I'm an oral and maxillofacial surgeon. So, I completed my post graduation in 2017 from Madhya Pradesh, Indore. And also, something at the background is that I'm an army brat. That is, both my parents served in the Indian Army. So, that is a reason that, I've had quite a diverse childhood and an exposure to a lot of different cultures, people, languages, and everything. So eventually, after getting married, I settled down here at Bangalore. So even my parents are here with me. So the biggest question, like Dr. Shatabdi said, is everyone asked me that you're a surgeon. You did your PG in surgery, and then what are you doing in clinical research? So frankly, let me tell you that in my 4.5 year career of clinical research, I would say that it took me 10 years to explain to people. That's why I made the transition. So that is why I think this reinvention series by Dr. Shatabdi would be really helpful for our fellow dentists who have the same questions. Coming to the question of how I made the transition from clinical to non-clinical, well, I would thank COVID for the same. So it was 2020, and it was exactly that time I was working as a lecturer in a dental college. I had completed 2 years as a senior lecturer. And that is when COVID hit and colleges shut down, and students had transitioned into online classes. And also that was a period wherein I had my child also. So that is when it was, naturally I decided to take a break. And I thought that, I would start looking or getting back into the career once my child is 1 to 1.5 years old. So I had a career break of 2 years, basically 1.5 years during the COVID. And since everything was shut down, I do not see that, as a break. Rather, I would say it was a rest period for all of us. And post that, I went in, and I was actually, I'm someone who's always, leaning in towards academics. And that is what I was looking into. I was giving interviews in various dental colleges in Bangalore to join as a senior lecturer. And that is when one of my PG colleagues, she told me that, you're so good at academics and you have an interest more towards teaching. Why don't you try, clinical research? So that was the first time in my life that I even heard the word, as what clinical research is. And I Googled, and like everyone else, I was really confused. And I told my colleague that, nahi hoga mujhse. And so she just told me that, see, I'll help you out, because she had already had experience working in the same field. And she was like, I will refer you, you clear the interview. Agar ho jayega, you try for a month. If you don't like it, you can leave it. I was very skeptical, and then the first thing is I asked people around, and there were very few people actually whom I could ask. And even my friend, she said that because it's a corporate and you have your privacy policies and everything, you cannot give out much of an information. So it was only Google and I, and I asked. I didn't even ask her properly what the role was or what the title of the role was. So whatever was there, whatever was given to me and whatever was the job description, I went through that. And I would say that I'm really grateful to the people who actually helped me during my initial transition. I wasn't alone. Like, as I said, she connected me to other people who were
Mm,
already working post
mm,
BDS. They were already in the
mm,
field. So because I
mm,
was completely new, there were times when I used to call up people at night, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., post their office hours, and they have spent hours and hours on the phone explaining it to me, first convincing me as to why I should make the transition, because
mm,
I did not have that confidence in myself that I would be able to do something in the non-clinical and from the clinical role. And to tell you, Dr. Shatabdi, even during the interview that I gave for IQVIA, the only question that they asked me was, why
okay.
are you shifting?
Mm,
So the biggest thing I told them was, firstly, for me, it was about, getting into a career that had to do something with dentistry or medicine. Because even when you think of a transition in a career,
mm,
we need to know ourselves first. That is first and most important. It is not that because everyone else is doing a particular
mm,
job, or
mm,
everyone is running towards one direction, it doesn't mean that that is correct for everyone.
mm,
So, since I did go through the job description, and I read and I understood that this is something that actually requires medical expertise and knowledge about your medical terminologies, and of course you're dealing with very sensitive data, which is patient data,
mm.
and of course you have to have your basic Microsoft Office skills. So that is
Okay.
something which was already there. So
Mm,
I did not feel that there is something extra that has to be done. So rather it was
mm,
more like what I already knew, I have to enhance the same,
mm.
and the other skills would be on the job. So once I cleared the interview and got in, is when I actually understood what the job role was
Okay.
as
Mm,
a medical data reviewer.
okay.
So even if you would have asked me the same question, say about 3 years back, I don't think I would have been able to explain exactly what the role is.
True.
So it has taken me some time to understand what it
Mm,
is, and
yes.
what is its what is its importance rather in the clinical research
Yes.
field.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
So
So, yeah,
yes.
makes sense, Dr. Nandini. So, Dr. Nandini, like you said, you did not start from scratch. You realized that you had some skills which you need to enhance and move ahead with in this new role. And also, you will get to learn once you are on the job, right? There are new things
Yes.
that you learn once you are on the job. So I think this is something that all of us need to realize, whether whatever kind of non-clinical role we are transitioning into, that we don't always start from scratch. We already have some skill sets with us as a doctor, as a dentist, as a pharmacist, as a healthcare professional, that we want to first of all identify and then use them in our transitions, in our new careers. That is one thing that we need to realize. Often we think that we are starting over from scratch. We don't know anything about the field, which to some extent is true because that is a new role. But again, understanding our strengths and our skill sets and how we can use them in the new role is something that we need to, understand in a better way. I feel so, right? Yes. So, Dr. Nandini, tell me a little bit about the day-to-day basis work that you do. Do you work from home? Do you work from office? What does the work look like for you?
So, Dr. Shadabdi, I am in a hybrid model, which is
Okay.
work from office as well as work from home. So that is the biggest advantage, I would say, was what I found, as a mother, to balance
True.
my personal as well as professional life. So I think most of I'm in a clinical research organization, that is IQVIA. So
Mm.
IQVIA works in a hybrid model, and there are quite a few farmers now who are basically working from office. So as per our convenience, we can always apply for roles or talk to the management regarding our what the job
Okay.
actually requires.
Yes.
And basically, when we talk about medical data review,
Mm.
usually it basically means that we are getting sensitive information
Mm.
about the clinical trial participants. So basically, clinical trials for drugs, say oncology drugs. Suppose there's a new drug by XYZ Pharma that is going to come into the market. So this pharma has decided to hand over all its responsibilities to a clinical research organization like IQVIA. So IQVIA, because of its expertise in conducting clinical trials, they have their own team members, because clinical research is a vast field. You have so many subdivisions and so many people involved, that there is data involved, there are regulatory compliances, there are so many other teams. So medical data review itself forms a part of a separate team rather. And we also have the medical safety teams, we have pharmacovigilance. So basically, when we talk about clinical research, it is really vast. And so when it becomes difficult for a pharma to manage everything together, the CROs come into play. So what actually happens is, as a medical data reviewer, we are doing something called as a centralized monitoring, or rather, we are not going to the site, or we are not seeing the patients or the trial participants, as they are called. So that is the beauty of it, that you are sitting somewhere else. Okay, we are here in India, but the trials are going on in China or US or Brazil. But because we have our company laptop, so we log in, and we have our softwares on which we are given training as soon as you get into the company. And we also have something known as SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. So every pharma company have their own SOPs. So as a part of a training process, we have a 4-week of training process where they train you with the systems that we are supposed to use, and the SOPs, which will tell you what is the work process that we're supposed to do. So yeah, you get and apart from that, I was also grateful because in IQVIA we also had a buddy system, wherein other medical data reviewers who are in the already working there would help you out with your initial onboarding process. They would show you how the softwares work. So it is basically what happens in corporate is that once your training period is over, everything is up to you. Like you have to know how to manage your day-to-day activities, right from switching on your laptop, how to see your emails, prioritize emails. So once your work begins and you are assigned your project or the clinical studies, the participants are there. Their data would basically come into the specific software. So it is like, we do not, subject data is very important, and we are not allowed to download any subject data and keep it in our systems. So it is within the
So
software.
confidentiality is important.
Yes, it is confidential. So whatever data we get, it is within the software. And basic in medical data review simply means that we are supposed to review the subject's medical history, medications, concomitant medications that the subject is taking, and also the subject's demographic data. And it also depends on, we are not only, the trials are not only conducted on adults, they're also conducted on children and adolescents. So we are provided with the study protocol on which we are given trainings. So basically, it is like you have to read, understand the study protocol, what exactly does the drug do, understand the dynamics of the drugs, and what we are reviewing is whether once a subject has enrolled into the clinical trial, what is happening to them post taking the drug. So what is the efficacy? Whether they are developing any side effects, adverse events. So that is what is very, very important as a medical data reviewer. Yes. So hence,
that is the importance of this particular job role, role, which is very important in fact.
Yes. And of course, there are so many, there are something known as a protocol deviation. So we have, like, different pharmas have different ways of operating, and some of them already provide us with there is a document given to us which are called protocol deviations. And apart from that, the study protocol, or also known as a clinical study protocol, would give you a list of medications or procedures which the trial participant should not have done before entering the trial. So
makes sense.
As
So
a medical data
everything
reviewer,
related to the trial.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like
Participants
it's
and what they are taking, everything related to
yes,
that. Yes.
everything is given in the clinical study protocol is basically like the Bible of a study. Like we are assigned to a clinical study. Say I've joined as a clinical reviewer, I would be given a oncology study. So the first document that would be provided to me in my system would be the protocol. So I have to
Yes.
take my time to read through the protocol,
Read through.
understand
Mm.
what is, yes,
Mm.
and understand what is there. And of course, there is when comes in our experience of, what we learned during our BDS,
Yes. Yes.
everything from
Our
basics is there
academics.
to
Yeah.
understand. Yes. And then
Mm.
comes
Everything,
even
makes
analysis.
sense, I think, at that
Yes,
point. We
exactly.
connect the
So that
dots,
is when
right?
we understand.
Mm.
Yes, that is how we would understand that how that helps us here,
Mm.
basically.
True, true,
And
true. So I
yeah,
think that helps us to better understand the clinical trials, the participants, their side effects, efficacy, safety, everything. I think because we have that basic understanding as dentists or as for that matter, any healthcare professional, we understand these things better. Right, true. So, Nandini, yeah, I have
and
another
also,
question for you.
yeah,
Yes, Nandini, please go ahead.
and there's another thing which is important that we do as medical
Mm-hmm.
data reviewers is, like I spoke about, protocol deviations. Basically,
Yes.
what is there in the protocol, something that is deviating from that, which is not, should not have happened, but has happened.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, this can happen at any level in the clinical trial, but as medical data reviewers also, we are one of the people who
Responsible
identify
for.
protocol deviation.
Mm.
Yes, that is why it's very,
Okay.
very important. So, for example, say there is a subject who is, undergoing the drug for, or they're in the trial for an oncology drug, but the protocol specifically mentions that XYZ drug should not be taken by the subject,
Yes.
but the subject would go back home and take the drug, and then they would
Yeah.
come back and, tell the site
Yeah.
people. So we are the first ones to identify the on
Ah,
study protocol
okay.
deviations.
Okay. Yes.
So that's a very big effect on the
Very
subject
big
safety.
responsibility also.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
true,
very,
true.
very. So that
Yes.
is when our expertise comes in understanding, and also it is not like the drug names where our pharmacology comes into play.
Yeah.
We are
Mm.
supposed to know the drug compositions, the
Okay.
mechanism of action and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And because even if they'll say they'll give a brand name, so how do you know what the drug
What's
is?
the composition? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
composition. So you go, you find out
Mm.
the composition, then you go to the protocol, and then you find out that okay, this drug is not supposed to be taken.
Yes.
So there's a separate process after that. So that is a very big issue when it comes to subject safety, actually. So
Subject
even
safety.
that
Yes.
that responsibility falls on to the medical data reviewer also.
Yes. So I think depending on your results and your output, a lot of changes also can happen within the ongoing trials, right?
Yes,
Yes. Yes. That is
yes,
the
we do.
biggest impact. Mm. True.
Yes. And not only that, with experience in medical data review, we also give inputs to the clinical study protocol itself during the
Itself.
initial
Okay.
phases. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So
Yes.
when the protocol is already written by the clinical scientists and it is provided to us, but if you have worked in other trials and you say that that
Yes.
trial inculcated
Mm.
something or you saw some results, you can always give those inputs.
Insights.
And
Mm.
yes, and it's
True.
also that especially if you're from the medical background, or your inputs do have that much of weightage, and
Yes. True.
that is something, yes, which comes with the work experience. And as we
And to
as I
some
said on,
extent because of your degree also.
yes, exactly, a lot of it to the degree also. So that is
True.
why when people say that we know you're starting from scratch, I always tell them that it is not from scratch, actually. If you
True.
are looking into it, we say that people just say that, oh, I'm only BDS. So I correct them there that it is not only
Mm.
BDS. Okay, it is, you
You
are a
have a lot
dental
of scope.
surgeon. Yes, it's a scope,
True.
and dentistry in itself is a specialty, which I think
Yes.
people don't understand the importance
Don't
of.
understand. Yeah.
Yes.
True. Absolutely. So, Dr. Nandini, tell me, are you happy with with the way your career is shaping or has shaped after the transition?
Yes, I would say, Dr. Shatabdi,
Yeah.
absolutely. The first thing, as I said, my biggest fear was that, if I could survive here, or, if this is a field for me, or
Yes.
even my question was that I don't know, I have only seen people in corporates,
Yes.
engineers and IT
Yes.
professionals who carry their laptops everywhere. I was like, what will I do? I remember after
Yes.
joining the office, and talking to my manager. After 1 month, my manager asked me that, Nandini, what is easier to do, opening your laptop or doing an extraction? So I told him it's doing an extraction. So
Yeah,
I
because
think
we
from
are kind of
there,
tuned in
yes,
that way,
exactly.
right? That is, it's a
Yes.
kind of mindset shift, I think. More than
Yeah.
the career changes, it is a big mindset shift also that we need to go through, right? True. So, Dr. Nandini, tell me, what was the biggest challenge? Like you mentioned that you were not very confident if you would uh, fit this role. That was one challenge. Any other challenge that you faced during this career transition?
First and foremost, Dr. Shatabdi, I would say was,
Mhm.
it is a completely unknown field. So from the known to the unknown, I had my own
Yes.
fears. I
Yes.
first I was, I thought that maybe it would be like, how we are taught in colleges, like, there are these many subjects. But then I realized that corporate is more about learning everything on your own. So it
Yes.
is not that somebody is sitting there to tell you. It is, everything is up to
Mm.
you. So they
You have
have
to
their
figure
own
it out.
policies. Yes, you need to figure it out. Of course,
Mm.
you have your colleagues and everyone whom you can always reach out to. But more than that, before that, you should have your basics clear.
Yes.
There are corporate policies, you have privacy
Mm.
policies. Basic thing, they provide you with a laptop. How do you use your laptop?
Mm.
How you cannot carry your laptop to different places,
Oh,
or
yeah.
there are so many
Mm. Mm.
trainings.
Mm.
So it is like you would feel overwhelmed. So the first thing I felt was that, what am I doing here? I was like, as I said, there should be forceps in my hand, but I'm carrying a laptop. So that was my biggest concern.
Yes. Yes.
But slowly, as I, got my trainings in the study and I started getting data, that is when I
Yes.
realized the importance of the work that we are doing.
Mm. Mm. True.
Yes. So,
True.
as
So
doctors,
then it starts
dentists,
making sense, and you feel
exactly,
that you can
yes.
do it, right?
Yes, because
True.
we always, we have always on the treatment side of it. But then,
Ah,
if you're using a particular drug, we never know that how did the drug actually come into the market.
yes. So this is kind of
Yes,
behind the scenes.
yes, exactly.
True. True.
Behind the
Yes.
scenes, and but yet very important, I
Very
would say.
important, of course, of course.
Yes,
So, like in movies, we see the final movie, right? We don't understand the
yes,
effort, the time, the energy that has gone into making that movie. But so many people working at the back end with so many different things and so many important things. True. Yes. So, Dr. Nandini, tell me how you decided that did you also explore other options when you were transitioning and then you narrowed down on this? How did you go about it?
actually, I was only aware of pharmacovigilance as
Okay.
a part of the clinical trials or the drug development. So when we studied about drug development phases, I only
Mm-hmm.
knew that, okay, there's phase 4, there's pharmacovigilance, and there were a lot of people who were already working in pharmacovigilance, and they also suggested me that maybe I could try pharmacovigilance. But then what happened actually that time was that, when I was going through the job description, it somehow, I did not feel aligned to
Okay.
what was there. So
Okay.
what I actually had in my mind is, rather than going into a phase 4 of the drug, that is, already in the post
Yes.
marketing, would there
Yes.
be any chance where I could know what are the initial phases that a drug does
Okay.
come into. So
Okay.
there is YouTube, of course. I did go through YouTube
Yes.
videos, and the first thing I realized is that usually medical data reviewer is a role that is suitable for MBBS and MD. So that is
Okay.
when I was, I was like, oh my God, I'm a dentist. Will they take me? Will they consider
Yeah.
me? That was my, I would say, that was my another fear,
Big
after
concern. Yeah.
realizing that,
Mm. Mm.
maybe the field isn't me. But because of my post graduation, I was taken in as a fresher, and
Okay.
they did explain that, because the team is very diverse, so you would have people from different specialities, and it would be up to you. Sometimes a person who is only BDS would be 3 or 4 years senior to you.
Senior to
So they
you
even asked me, yes, so they even asked me that, would you be okay working with
with that.
people?
Mm.
Yes. So would you be okay? So I said, I am always open to learning, even till today. I think you know, Dr. Shadabdi, you've been
Yes.
my mentor also.
Yes.
So that is what I continue even till today. I do not. I am always open to learning. So it all depends on the person who's in front, their experience and everything.
True.
And so also that is something which I realized, on the job, that
Yes.
eventually it is more than your degree. It's your experience, your work ethics,
Mm.
sincerity
Your
and your
learning
interest.
agility, I think.
Learning.
Learning
Yes,
agility.
exactly.
True.
Yes.
Yes.
So all of that comes into play in
When
your
you
career.
are transitioning. Yeah, true.
Yes.
So, Dr. Nandini, I have a question. So, like you said, MBBS people can come into this field. BDS, MDS people, just like you and me, we also can move into this field. What other professionals, healthcare professions, can look or explore this medical data reviewer field?
Bachelor's in physiotherapy, master's in physiotherapy, Ayurvedic physicians. Uh, so presently in IQVIA, where I'm working, I have colleagues from Ayurveda as well as
Okay.
physiotherapy backgrounds.
Yes.
Also, although we do have pharmacy graduates also, but I
Yes.
think for them, you have separate. Some of them would do take in, but I guess
Mm-hmm.
most of them get into the regulatory or the
Yes.
pharmacovigilance side.
Pharmacovigilance. Yeah. Yeah. Side of it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, Dr. Nandini, tell me, do you also have colleagues from like biotechnology, PhDs? Do you have these kind of colleagues also?
Yes, we do have, but
Okay.
not directly presently. But what happens is in the clinical trial, we do, connect with our other stakeholders or other teams. So I have seen them as part of
Okay. In other
other
teams.
teams. Yes,
Okay.
other
Okay.
teams.
Yeah.
So we have people like presently I'm working with clinical scientists. So that their designation is clinical scientist, and they are basically PhDs, but
PhDs.
they do not, yeah, but they are not doctors. Like
Yes.
they may
Yes.
be
Yes.
undergraduates, but they
Hmm.
hold a PhD degree in a specific therapeutic area. So
Yes.
it's because of their experience in the therapeutic area that they become clinical scientists, and we work
True.
along with them to
Okay.
carry out our medical data review activities.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So with that, we have one closing question for you, Dr. Nandini, though I would like to ask you a few more questions, but we are short in time. So what is the one tip that you would suggest a healthcare professional, especially a woman who has been lost in her career or has seen a career gap, in her life, or is undergoing a, break in her career, or wants to change into a different career? What is the one tip that you would give to that person?
Well, I would say first and foremost, as a person, we need to do our SWOT analysis, the SWO2 that we do. So I should say that we should do that for ourselves, to understand. Maybe sometimes, I think as women, we are overwhelmed with emotions and, people's suggestions and criticism, I would say a lot of it that we face. So I think we need to be strong with what we want. So for that, first we have to be aware of our interest, our strength, our convenience, and what are we
Mm.
looking for. If
Yes.
you are an ambitious woman who is okay and you can manage your home and you're okay, there are so many roles where you
Yes.
have on field activities which involves
Yes.
traveling. If that excites you, you should
Yes.
always, you can try that role.
Mm,
If
mm,
you so that is why I see, Dr. Chisabdi, that first and foremost we must take out some time and understand as to what where does our interest lie, because
mm,
nowadays we have a lot of options available. And
mm.
and as you get in touch, there are so many people in the field trying to get in, so many people advise you. And I would say, before asking people, the first and foremost would be we do our homework on our own. Okay.
Mm. Very important.
Yeah, try. Yes, and also like trials are rapidly evolving, so I would
Mm.
suggest that before understanding, just blindly looking for a job in the field, first try and understand what clinical trials are, what are the
Yes.
roles available,
Mm.
and
What is
what
the
are the
work scope like?
qualifications.
What are the
Yes, what are the
qualifications
work
needed?
scope? Yes,
True.
qualifications. And I think all that is very easily available nowadays right on the internet.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, also I would say that for today, because there's a lot of competition, people are aware about the industry. I think as a person, it would be better if we could equip ourselves with some of the skills already. Like,
Mm.
nowadays we have so many online certifications available and courses available, because now AI is booming and there's a lot of AI coming into the farmers. So you could
Mm-hmm.
always understand AI. So it's not that, there is no guarantee that, oh, you have this certification, so you qualify for the role. No, it
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that way.
No.
When you give your interview, they're basically looking at your potential to learn, your potential to
Mm.
apply your skills, and to basically know that what is it that you actually bring about, and
Yes.
how much will they have to spend on training you.
Yes.
So yes, that is what I guess people need to develop. It is not just about blindly going and doing 10 courses and thinking that, oh, this might help you. No, it is more about understanding
Where you
your
stand,
own.
what you bring to the table,
Yes,
then
exactly.
aligning with that with the industry that you want to move into, explore the market,
Yes.
right?
And
True.
also, how flexible are you? Because what happens is
Yeah.
that uh, now I'm in a different role, but in my previous role, I was handling five studies together at a point,
Okay.
and they were all
Okay.
five in different molecules.
Okay.
So
Mm.
it basically shows that how
You
adaptable
have to
are you.
manage it. Mm.
Yes, how do you manage your, so you need to know time management, people management, flexible, critical thinking. There are so many skills that you need to develop.
Soft
And it is
skills.
not just, yes, soft skills, and it's not just your day-to-day work. You have we basically have sessions, and you need to train other people. Sometimes as a study in charge, we also basically, most of our stakeholders are from abroad, so you need to develop good communication skills, and presentations, how you present, and that matters. How you build a rapport with them, all of those are something that we need to develop the expertise. So
Mm.
because see, when I was transitioning, during that time, that much of information wasn't available, and this
But
is
now
something
it's
only.
available.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I
And
think people should
nowadays,
explore, right?
exactly, they should. And I would say, Dr. Shatabdi, that because of AI, I think it is very easy now for people. You could rather, leverage AI itself to learn so many skills. Like, there are so many
True, true.
newsletters that you could subscribe to for clinical trials. You'll know
Yes.
what is up in the market.
What's happening?
You know,
Mm. True.
yes, what's happening. And so, what actually happens is that, say, if I'm a recruiter and I want to take up someone who's a dentist or whatever. It is not just, okay, you put in a resume that you have clinical practice and you're doing so and so, that is fine. But if I'm taking your interview and you go ahead and tell me, you use words, say, clinical trials or decentralized trials or something like that, so it actually shows me that you have gone ahead and taken that much
Done
of
your work,
effort,
done your homework.
done your work, homework, exactly, to understand. So it is something, it may not be that you may be 100% correct, because you haven't worked, right? You're just trying to get in. But
Yes.
then, even when you have read and you're going ahead and collecting information and you can present it somehow, that really makes you stand out.
Yes. True. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Nandini. And for all our audience, I will meet you in the next episode with another amazing guest. And if you want to connect with Nandini, please, I'll share her LinkedIn in the description box below. With that, we close today's session. Nandini, any closing words you would want to share?
No, Dr. Shadabdi, no closing words. Just thank you. Thanks a lot
Okay.
for having me
You are
on your
most
show.
welcome. You are most welcome. And thank you. And I'll meet you in the next episode with another guest. Till then, take care, guys, and stay happy. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.